Grizzly just growled as I pulled the mat out and it scared me half to death because I just spotted this. Look at that. Oh my word. That is a nice piece of gold. What's up guys, Chris here from Vo-Gus Prospecting. If you're new to the channel, a big warm welcome. And if you're an old morning beanie like this one, welcome back. Today I am out with the Gold Rat Mini 6 Highbanker to run a little bulk sample of pay dirt that I think has some potential. If you haven't seen the test panning video of this spot, I will link it up above. Please go and watch that. That'll give you heaps of context about why we're digging here. Because the gold that we're dealing with today is a mixture of fine and coarse, I've got the sluice set up in a long tom situation so we give it more opportunity for that small gold to drop out of suspension. But before we start feeding the mini beast, we're going to take that yabby pump and clean off the bedrock that I didn't clean off properly when I was test panning. What's doing, Grizzly? Grizzly, you reckon people should go and get themselves a yabby pump? Yeah, it's all the gold you can't pick up with a shovel. It's a lot harder to show you in a potato pan, the reveal. However, check out that speck count down there. That is fantastic. And I just spotted this. I moved it with my finger just to see. Look at that. That is a real nice piece of gold. I love this game. Second half bucket just yabby pumping, and that speck count is really good. And you got to remember, I worked this with a pan already. I can see a few more spots in there that I'll get tidied up. If I find anything significant, I'll show you. Otherwise, the next shot you're going to see is of that turned on and running. Today I'm running my 18 amp hour battery, but I'm not sure how much charge is actually in it, so I only brought along my 1100 gallon an hour pump. With a little bit of luck, that slower water flow will help catch some of that fine gold. Good work, boss. I've pushed maybe 15 shovels through the Highbanker, and all I've done is get it back to even. So the bank had slumped, like I talked about earlier, because it was undercut. What I wanted to get back to was the original pay layer, which is just here, and we've got a beautiful cross section of what floods do. We've got the top section. This is all our modern floods. So this might have been over the last 100 years or so, it bringing silt and gravel and stuff down. It's mostly clay base, and it's got a little bit of gravel and a little bit of gold in it. Directly underneath it, we've got the pay layer. Now this is all the product of washed out sluice tailings. This whole area here was hydro sluiced in 1880. So they used water cannons to erode things like this and push it through ground sluices. When you find pockets of original ground here, it's got the same coloration of this. And when you find pockets of original ground, you'll find the heaviest, densest black sand material you have ever worked. When you wash it, it often looks like this. So drawing on that experience, my hypothesis is this. When they finished hydro sluicing this area, they walked away and this would have all been clean bedrock. They would have got it right down to the bedrock, and that's when they called it done. The first floods that came through would have been washing their sluice tailings. And as those sluice tailings moved down in those floods, it deposited layers like that, the original layers on this bedrock. So that's why I'm thinking that there's so much gold in this. Old time sluices were notoriously bad at catching gold. I mean, they had to make them so long just so they could catch this sort of gold. That's probably why we're dealing with a lot of the fines as well. Nevertheless, we're down to the pay layer, so we're going to start processing even more of it. You're mad. You're mad. Yeah. Yeah, that's still quite a respectable result. There's about 15 or 20 little micro dots down the bottom there per full shovel, which I know historically for me has added up super quickly when you start pumping quantity through. So what we really want to know now is that if I run 200-300 shovels, how much gold are we going to get for it? So what's our per meter rate? So we're just checking the mat to see what we've got going on in here. We have got a lot of fine gold in these letters, but it is tiny, it is really small, so chances are anything similar will be really deep down in these cells. The other place is this will catch probably 70+% of your gold in the Mini 6. Oh yeah, we got gold. We got gold. We have done a very short run, and that's the tail of gold we've got from just that top piece of minus moss. Now, having said that your minus moss will catch most of the gold, 70% or so, at the very top of the sluice, there is variances within that. Often you'll find that if you're dealing with very fine gold like we are here, that will be caught in the mat. Usually your bigger pieces are caught in this moss. Taking a leak. Better. What's giving me encouragement is I can actually see a few pieces. There's one piece just there, And there was a few more, one just there as well. Grizzly just growled as I pulled the mat out, and it scared me half to death because I just spotted this. Look at that. Oh my word. Oh, that is a nice piece of gold. That is a super nice piece of gold. Normally, for whatever reason, when I put this mat in here, it's tucked back here like this, in line with this bolt plate here, and it must create a vortex and suck things back, because I always find my pickers and nuggets at the very back of this sluice when I've got the miner's moss up the top. Oh, that piece of gold is so good. We found a picker. I'm running into the same problem that I ran into in this video. These are old gravels. We're talking like this was laid in here probably over 120 years ago, and they've compacted. I mean, they're compacting like cement. So on the edge where the erosion was happening, it was nice and soft and easy to dig, but the further I go into there, the more it's like digging into cement. So I'm going to run as much as I can with the tools that I have today, and then come back with something to help me loosen this stuff up if we get a good result. Grizzly and I have been running for about an hour and a half now, and I'm not going to make too much more progress in this stuff down here without getting a pick onto it, which I don't have with me today. Right before I show you the gold that we've got sitting in those mats over there, I want to invite you over to my Facebook page. My Facebook page has a heap of exclusive content, including videos, pictures and articles, all aimed at helping you find more gold out on the gold fields. The link for it is in the description below. Please come over there and join me. And now we're going to see how much gold we got. Oh, that nugget that we saw in the sluice earlier, I'm going to call it a little nugget now. Smaller than picker. That is sexy. Woohoo! This is the gold we got out of that top piece of miner's moss, including that. Look at that. That is a nice clunker of gold, and of course it should make the noise. Kind of. Any of our super fine gold should be in this pan from the second sluice. Oh yeah. This is exactly why we run long tom setups. I want you to think of it like this. If you did this in one pan, you would be like, oh my god, this is highbankable. So you don't want to lose that kind of gold out the end of your sluice. We're doing a really, really small run today. So in the future, when I get a big highbanker and the right tools out here, I'm definitely going to make sure I got a long tom set up, because we're going to miss a lot of that if we don't run one. This is what we got out of the main mat. Now you can see we got probably a really similar amount of gold to what we got in the bottom one, but the pieces are bigger. For the short run that we did, I suspect we probably pulled out maybe a 0.4-ish. That's my hunch. That nice big chunk is definitely going to add some weight. And if that's the case, I only ran about 100 shovels total, and from the pay layout, I probably only ran about 30 shovels-ish, if that. Let's get this stuff home and on the scale so we can see how rich this ground actually is. After some serious effort in cleaning it up, this is the gold we got for our efforts. For a little bit of scale, we've got an Australian 5-cent coin and a Clash Guitars pick. But now let's get this on the scales. First, the Nugget or picker. 0.03. Not a huge bit of gold, but what about the rest of it? 0.63. That's not too shabby. 0.63 is worth about 53 Australian dollars at today's gold rate, which I think is pretty good going considering I only worked for about 2 hours in total, not including the pack up and setup of my equipment. And considering I didn't work all that much of the pay layer because of how hard it was, that has been in situ for over 120 years since the first floods came down after they finished hydro sluicing that area. Getting back there with a pick and really loosening that stuff up and running through the Highbanker might pay out, because I think that a 100 shovel run, once you start talking about 1,000 shovels or a cubic meter, we're going to be getting a lot of gold. Right after this, I'm going to show you a sneak peek of the next episode coming out on Vo-Gus prospecting. If you don't want to miss out on that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell in the bottom corner, giving this video a share with your friends to spread the gold fever, and a like will also help this channel grow bigger and better so I can make more of these videos for you. But until next time, please give your dog a scratch behind the ears for me. Don't get caught picking your nose. Peace, and I'm out. Next time on Vo-Gus Prospecting. I desperately want Mick to turn around to see what's in my pan because this is just one pan.
Oh. Yeah.
One pan. Yes, this thing is loaded. Yeah, this spot is absolutely loaded. It's all through that black sand too. Holy wow.